rhomboid table, not round or square or triangle. We come to hang and chat the game on Friday that we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're at the rhomboid table, our host is formidable. He runs a strange, often insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hobby-matic in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Quite incomprehensible. Blue wrenching and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome in, Knights of the Rhomboid Table, lords and ladies, all the Great Mead Hall is open. I have not seen our royal barkeep yet, but we'll get it open one way or the other so that you can all sit down, grab an ale, and join in. I hope you're all well on that side of the camera. To our friends down under in Australia, especially along the Gold Coast, if you're able to watch this, we hope you're okay. We hope the storm's not going to do so much. I know the storm got delayed. It slowed down, kind of stalled, not in power, but in movement. So hope you're all down under doing okay. That's a big typhoon you guys have coming in there. You're allowed to make fun of your own channel, yes. So, anyhow, I hope you guys all enjoyed a week without me posting a video after about 10 videos over a 3-week period. I had a lot going on and thought since I hadn't shared anything layout work-wise in years, I thought since I was working on the layout and it was a kind of a big project. We also threw out a couple of new parody songs. first one did okay. The most recent one, which I sang, and actually I thought I did a pretty good job, did not get the views I was hoping it would get. Of course, nothing ever gets the views I was hoping it would get, but I thought it would do a little better than it did. But be that as it may, so I've got nothing to report. There's the only thing going on is I'll be making a video this weekend. I bought these. These are generic. They're imitations. They're clones of the decoders that go into my turnouts. These are clones. They don't work exactly the same way to load in. Once they're in, they'll work exactly the same way. But so these are less than half the price of the official Märklin decoders. So I thought I would give these a try in a couple places where I still need the turnout digitalized. So we'll see how it goes. But it's got a little learning button you have to keep pressing on here. It's a tiny little button right there below that, what looks like brackets and a minus sign. That's the learning function. So the instructions, unfortunately, in German, and I do speak German, but there's a couple of things I'm scratching my head at, like, what do I do here? What am I supposed to do? So I've been trying, I've started trying to watch some videos. All right, so let's see which knights have joined us today. At the top of the list is Lee, Anfield Road, layout in the loft. Let me guess, Lee is listening in the background while he's working on something. Anthony, Sir Anthony from Choverton Junction. Sir Baby not appearing in this picture from Clintonville Model Railway. Sir Colin of White. Sir Hi from H&H Express. Sir Andy the Hot Dog Pilot. Sir Digger Evans just popped in. Sir Ifo Fonzone is here. Sir John of Benicki. Sir Leslie of Gilpin. Sir Lyndon of Lintree, Sir Andy of March West Junction, Sir Greg of Midsummer Railway N Scale. Like I said, I'm really sorry that I missed your live stream. I'm sorry you had a bad week. You can contact me offline if you want to just let off steam. Sir Dino of the Model Railway Shed is here. Sir Clive of Newland Railway. Sir Randall Ellison is here. Sir Simon from SJ Train World is here. Sir Tim of Dowd. And who just popped on. Lady Kara is here from Von Don Eisenbahn, K-Guns. We have Sir Tom of Couples, our new Sergeant at Arms. Sir Tom of Houston Model Railway. Another Sir Tom. So we got a lot of Toms there in a row, too. Sir Tom of Tom's Märklin Train Layout, who, not by choice, well, that's his business to talk about if he wishes. I shouldn't say anything. Sir Chris from the Valleys is here. And if I missed anyone, I'll double back through the list to see if there's any names I don't think I read. I think we're doing well. We've got CMD models just popped in. So as I said, nothing new, exciting, different to announce this week other than these two little decoders. So now that I've got the chat going up, I can see what people have to say. And now they're in German. It's a German company. They're made in Germany. The thing is, they only charged me $5 postage. $5 postage, and then each decoder I got for $14. These decoders are $31 with my discount from Märklin, or from Lipa. They're Märklin. Märklin, their list price is $36. Lipa, you get them for $31. These guys, $17 marked down to $14. Now, they only have a couple, and all they do is decoders, but they also have imitations of some Roco track decoders and some other companies. You'd have to go to their website. I will post it in the post, because I wasn't expecting to get these until next week, and they arrived yesterday. So I'm going to do a video with me trying to learn how to use these. But they go into the track the same way. In other words, here's my turnout. This is a right-hand turnout, which will be going, this is the one that's going to go into my parking area. So you got the motor. The decoder will fit next to it. You connect these to power the track. You connect this to the motor, and then it's all digital. No drop wires, no bus wires underneath the table. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. But whereas the Märklin ones are dip switch decoders, these are not. So I will work on that tomorrow. Well, Clintonville, it's not hard for me to think like a German. I've been thinking like a German since I was born. You know, I'm born in America, but my grandparents were born in Germany. Well, except for the one named Dodge. So it's not just thinking like a German. It's just, unfortunately, it's rather vague. A tech person who's used to working with decoders probably doesn't have a problem with it. Me, who is kind of not an IT person, and the Märklin stuff is pure plug and play. You don't have to think like anything. You just put it in, connect the wires, pop it on, the track reads it, go. The control reads it. So anyhow, let's go straight into trains, and then we'll catch up with all the happy chat. Let's go, where are we going? 11 lane. All right, the trades run today. I am running a class 218 with the famous AW Cottbus 218, which is still out there. It works its way around. A friend of mine recently shared a video from Kiel where it was up there, and then somebody else spotted it down much further south on the Rhine River somewhere. So this is a German IC1. It's pulled by a locomotive like the IC2. In fact, anything that's IC in Germany is pulled by a locomotive as opposed to having a power cab. And then the next car is going to be an Austrian IC, and that's pulled by a Taurus, an E64 unit. I believe that's officially, that one's a 1216, I believe. I could be wrong, could be an 1116. So we'll get that one in motion. ICs are pulled by power ends, and ICs have locomotives. Then the next one is a Class 181-2. Seen mostly in southwestern Germany, but you'll see them across Germany, but mostly in western and southwestern Germany. Freight locomotive, although it can occasionally put into service for, and we're just running the container freight again. I wasn't in the mood to get the, I'm just double checking, make sure everybody's going over the points and slips okay, that I did double check to make sure everything was closed and so forth, but so we'll have that little freight train in motion. My friend Jean Ricard won't be here today because he works early in the morning. He's a bus driver over in Denmark, but he always complains I don't run my train's cab, control cab forward. So I'm doing this one just to aggravate him because he's not going to be here today. I'm going to do it in this live stream. This is intentional. I knew he wasn't going to be here, so I'm running this cab forward because that's the kind of guy I am. But that is a Metronom. That's a private company, regional, local transport train, commuter train. And Metronoms are very good. They're one of the people you don't mess around on their trains. They will get harsh on you. Okay, and then just because I couldn't decide what to run, I decided to pull out some old Tinplates. I'm running an E41, way too fast. Sorry about that. All the people that might have been in those cars now have whiplash. But I'm pulling E41 with a bunch of Era 3, 1960s, late 50s through the 60s era, even into the early 70s era passenger cars. But I thought it made a nice set together. So a nice little Tinplate set. The locomotive is from Herb's collection, and the Tinplates are from horse collection that I picked up. And then way in the back, I'm running a diesel DMU, a class 648, also known as the Link class 41. That's a Deutsche Bahn, so it's the German Federal Railway. And then, because I'm thinking about it already, hey, Sir Curly, how are you? I've never seen it run with a EMU. The IC2s have always been the double-deckers and then a locomotive, whether the 147 or the 146.5. I've never seen them with anything else. Check that. I did see them with a 218 once. And there are 218s with the, like this one. You do have 218s in the IC livery. But usually I see 146s and 147s on the 146.5s and 147s on the ICs. I've never seen, maybe once I've seen a 218 pulling the Reka double-deckers. But anyhow, let's go to the floor. And we have the Azuma. The Hand of God. Woo! We got an Azuma. And we got an Inner City HST Swallow livery. Running on the floor in the 00 gauge. Hello, Eric from Bandan Eisenbahn. Yeah, I'm just saying I never saw it, Evo. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just saying I never saw it. Now, and I've ridden IC2s a bit. But to be honest, the only time I've seen IC2s have been along the Rhine and then the east-west, Bremen, Hanover, all the way over to Dresden. And you do see them at Hanover on some of the north-south lines. But off the top of my head, I don't remember ever seeing them at the Munich train station. I'm sure they do. I just haven't seen them. And in fact, one time Joyce and I were supposed to be on an IC2 and it got canceled because it was the year a lot of the drivers retired and we got substituted onto an IC1 pulled by a class 101. And wait, did I see Stefan is here? Long time no see. Skål, my Norwegian brother. How wonderful to see you, Sir Stefan. Great to have you here. Welcome back. How wonderful to see you. I'm going to be relatively, and I'm using that word loosely, I'm going to be relatively close to Norway. I'm going to be in Denmark in June for a week. About 4.5 days in the town of Abeltoft near Aarhus, and then 2.5 days in Copenhagen. That's as close as I'm getting to Norway until Joyce and I decide to do a Scandinavian trip. Ah, that's great, man. Yeah, it's been a long time. Glad to have you here. All right, so let's just go back to the 11-lane view for a little bit, see everybody in motion because a bunch of the trains were there. But I shouldn't say all German. One Austrian. We got the Austrian IC. I don't think I named that. It's an Austrian IC. It's actually being pulled by a railjet locomotive, but those Tauruses do get switched back and forth. Hey, Sir Raymond of Legs, how are you? You've been to Abeltoft. Cool, because we're going to be spending a few days with our friend Jean Ricard at his house in Abeltoft. He hasn't learned yet, but he's being moved to the garage he doesn't have, and Joyce and I are staying in the house. That would be awesome. Because we're just going to be walking around Copenhagen. We don't have any specific plans, and I literally can give you the date. I can tell you what days we're going to be in Copenhagen, and you can mark it on your calendar and make sure you catch a flight to South America, Mozambique, Hong Kong, whatever, to avoid us being in your country. Yeah, Jean Ricard is in Denmark. He lives in Abeltoft. Jean Ricard lives in Abeltoft. He works as a bus driver between Aarhus and Abeltoft. Hey, Sir Regiopulled, how are you? So anyhow, let me do this real quick. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bow. Do I have that information down here? No, of course not. I don't have it on this computer because that would be smart. How come I have not moved the trip folder down here? Because I do it all on the laptop. That's why, but still. So I'd have to run upstairs. Dodge is coming, get out of town. That's right. Well, our guide is going to be Jean Ricard mostly, but he just wants us to pick what we want to see. But obviously, Copenhagen's a big town. You could spend a week in and not see all the cool stuff. So, you know, we're just... The thing is to try to figure out what the highlights are, the stuff you're going to see, because I don't know if we'll ever get back to Copenhagen. We've got 2 days. We'll arrive middle of the afternoon one day, and then we'll have 2 full days, and then we get up and leave. And from there, we're taking the ferry from Copenhagen to Rostock. Actually, it's not Copenhagen; it's south of Copenhagen. But we're taking a Flix train bus out of Copenhagen onto a ferry, and then over to Rostock back in Germany. So we're going to start in Koblenz, and then we're up in Lübeck for a few days, then up to Denmark, and Abeltoft, Copenhagen, and then from Copenhagen to Rostock, and then Rostock to Frankfurt to leave. Well, hello, Sir Christopher. Welcome in. Well, we'll happily take a guided tour. But yeah, we are around the 14th and 15th of June. Might be earlier than that. No, it'd be around there. But yeah, because we arrive in Koblenz May 30th. We arrive in Koblenz May 30th, and we're a week, like 7.5 days in the Koblenz area. And I know Koblenz very well. I've been to Koblenz 5 or 6 times. We decided to stay there because it's a nice hub to go to a bunch of places we want to go that are nearby. We are planning on going down to Luxembourg City, which is about a 2-hour, 20-minute train ride from Koblenz. That's one of the cool. We want to go to Luxembourg City just to go, hey, we're at Luxembourg! And, you know, just check off another country on the map that we visited. Well, hey, Arthur is here. Hello, Sir Arthur. Welcome in, welcome in. Sir Arthur of O-Gauge Trains and Slot Cars. One of my favorite channels because it's about fun. And although he's been in the middle of rebuilding all of his ramp and supports, he does Lionel O-Gauge, but he also has slot cars. And of course, he does 1/43 scale slot cars, which is the same scale as O-Gauge Trains, basically. So it all works nicely together. And it's just it's just a lot of fun. He's one of those channels that it's about fun. He also does rail fanning along the Northeast Corridor, Jersey Transit, Amtrak, as well as the freight in that area. And there's Sir Eric. Hello. Well, we'll have it. Don't feel too special, Arthur. We take everybody. We take everybody. Heck, they even let me in. Even I wouldn't let me in, but I get let in. But I will tell you the funniest bit. I think it was after our live feed last Friday. I might be repeating what you guys saw live last week. All right, let's go to some other cameras. I mean, what's the point of having all these cameras if I can't share the views? Can watch that 181, that class 181. And all that freight. But last week, Joyce had a hard week, and she was thinking she'd like to hit the road again. And she looked at me and said, do you want to go to Ormondy's again? She was like, she was all ready to let me go to Ormondy's and buy another train. I was like, you don't want to let me have a second shot at that Metropolitan or that Northlander. And then she, oh crap, I've got an appointment tomorrow. So it really wasn't going to work. But she was already, let's go to Ormondy's and you buy yourself another train. I've been, for about 2 weeks, I've been saying, who are you and where's my real wife? And everybody that's watching on Makeup or live stream or whatever. Yeah, I saw the Märklin Shea announcement. I hate to say it, but absolutely no interest. Jean Ricard was already teasing me about, like, it's American and it's Steve, you know, come on. I'm like, nope. No. If I get an American train, it's going to be modern image. It's going to be a modern. I want an Asila. I want a, what is it, the Charger. I want an Amtrak going on this layout, an American Amtrak. And then I might get another locomotive in honor of my friend Randall and the companies he tends to work with. She let you buy trains on Settle for the Clone. Well, so far that's the only difference. So if she is if it is a clone Russian agent disguised as my wife, they got her pretty spot on. They just missed the whole, she's not eager to spend money on trains, but she just, I think she saw how happy I was with what we did at Ormondy's 2 weeks ago. And she just wanted that sense of, look how happy I made him. Don't look a gift train in the mouth. Yeah, I was going to say, don't. Them's fighting words if you call Joyce a horse there. Joyce is probably listening in. Yeah, we were just talking about that, the announcement of the Shea. And I just, seriously, I am looking at 2 more steamers, and I really want to be done with steamers. I do want to get a Class 44, and then I got to decide between a Class 01, which I have a Class 01, but it's the Christmas train, so I'd like a straight one without all the Christmas stuff on it, or a Class 03. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, when we're in Germany in June, I'm just going to hit all the shops and just see what somebody might have, maybe even an older Märklin 01 or 03, and if I like it and I like the price, I'll just bring it home with me. Okay, unfortunately, Simon, I'm not going to be at Andy's live stream, and immediately after Andy's live stream, I'll be going live. Because this Sunday is the Toledo train, the Greater Toledo Train and Toy Show, the only train show I go to most years. All right, I went to Getz last October. That was a little different. And I'll be doing my 5th annual live stream. I believe this will be the 5th time I've live streamed from the train show. I kind of lean towards the .10 EFO, but I'm not that particular. I'm not that particular. I like both versions. I don't have a favorite. This will either be the 4th or the 5th time. I know I've done it at least 3 times, but I think I've done it 4 other times, but this may be the 4th. But yeah, I'll be live from the Toledo train show. Unfortunately, I have to do it on my phone from Streamlabs, so it will be just a pop-up when I'm ready to go, as opposed to you'll get a notification. But it'll start, I'll start streaming about 9:15 local Toledo time, which in the UK is 2:15 in the afternoon. So Western Europe, most of Western Europe, that would be 3:15 in the afternoon. And I will have cash with me. And so I do want to talk about this, but I'll also talk about it tomorrow because the Artie show is on my channel tomorrow. Because of the storm, Artie doesn't think he's going to be able to do an on-site adventure he was going to do on the show tomorrow. It is on my channel, but if he does happen to make it out to his on-site bid he wanted to do, then it's really just going to be him on my channel, and I'll try to stay out of the way. Do I think I'll see any short, fat trolls at the train show? I don't know. Do the trolls still wear the big orange spiky hair? Because, and the other thing is they're not selling online tickets this year. It's buy at the door. So I'm going to have to get there early, wait in line, and buy tickets, which I haven't had to do in a few years. But, yeah, Joyce and me will be there, and we'll be there for a couple hours. We'll stream, and then I'll turn off the stream and do one quick walk around to see if there's anything I want to. But the thing is, if you are watching live and you stay there and you see something you want, and if it's not expensive, kids, Daddy will buy it for you, and then you can pay me back for it. Please don't give me a list of things to look for. I found it really hard, even with them written down, to go up to all these tables and keep asking, do you have this, do you have this, do you have this? But if you're watching along and you see something, the thing is, don't wait for me to walk 10 tables or one row away and then say, hey, Anthony, go back to that table. Because I won't know which table you're talking about. And you'll say, the one that had all the intermodals. And I'll go, what the is an intermodal? If it's not German, I don't know. Buongiorno! Chimera Wargaming! Buongiorno, buongiorno. Something that fits on your layout. Yeah, so I start with N scale, and then I gotta hope it's European unless there is something American you want. But like I said, just watch along. I will buy and then ship it to you, and you just pay me back. If it's, you know, if it's something like, oh, wow. It's like a couple of years ago, Nisi saw a hockey train. She had been looking for, and she couldn't see it. And there it was at my show. I bought it for her and sent it to her. I got no problems doing that. Joyce might start saying, stop spending our money. And I'll be like, we get it back. That's probably true, Efo. I probably don't know, but at least I could start with a BR-45. The rest of it, no. But since there's only one guy that actually sells Märklin, and he wasn't even there last year, I don't expect to find anything I'm looking for. The only thing I'm going to do is if I see an HO set of those New York Central black and silver passenger cars, I'm in HO, I'm buying them. For 2 or 3 years in a row, a guy had them for $110 for 10 cars. HO. And they were just gorgeous. And I'm like, nope. This time I'd buy them. And then I'd have to find a good American locomotive in 3-rail. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick them behind whatever train I want and run them and go, look, it's a German train pulling American cars. By the way, if you don't know Chimera Wargaming, they are based in Italy. and they paint Warhammer and similar figures, and they are as good as anybody on the internet or off the internet. These guys do brilliant jobs painting models. It is a father and son team. It's Liam and... Crap, now I forgot the other one. It's Liam and... crap. Sorry about that. So if you're into wargaming or just like to see tabletop wargaming figures getting painted, these guys do exquisite work. Check them out. You're looking for a Blue Goose dining car. Well, the thing is, the Toledo Train Show features almost exclusively American trains, but it also has toys that I'm interested in. And some of the dealers do have European stock. I don't see much British. I don't see much OO UK. But you'll see North American, predominantly American. It's some American train shows can be heavy Lionel. These guys, there is definitely a heavy Lionel presence, but it's mostly HO, and there are quite a few large N-scale dealers. Hello, Monsville. You still got your internet, it looks like, so hopefully you're hanging in there. And hello, Sir Carl from Bangotcha Junction. But I am looking forward to this train show. I don't know if it will be better. I thought last year's show was good to walk through. I am looking for European stock, and last year there was like one guy had like a couple of Lima and one Piko and one Fleischmann. And I probably should have bought the Fleischmann, but it really didn't go with anything I had. If anybody's near Milwaukee on March 23rd. Right. No, I do know what the Blue Goose is. So, I mean, by name, it's a Santa Fe. Made by HM IHC Rivarossi. Okay, so the Cyclone has done. Hey, did I see Sir Andy of Warwick Road is here? Awesome. Hey, Andy, long time no see. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you're well. You're waiting for your Prefo Belgian passenger car. Yeah, they had a 2-car Belgian passenger set, a control cab and a passenger car at Ormondy's, which I could get for fairly cheap. And no, it wasn't Belgian. It was Luxembourg. Sorry. It was CFL. But looking forward to it. Hey, did I see Sir Mark of Model Railway Fantasia popped in? But, yeah, I might look for a decent set of American Amtrak, modern era Amtrak cars if anybody has them. The problem with Toledo, the Toledo Trade Show, is the people who come tend to be the golden era train guys. They like post-war into the early 80s. You don't see a lot of modern era stuff in HO. You see a bit more in N scale. You do see a lot of modern era in N scale, but in HO, especially for passenger cars, forget it. Slow the green train down. Sure. Yeah, he is chugging along pretty fast. And actually, I have his speed set at 47 kilometers an hour. Apparently, he thinks it's 47 parsecs. And now he's just stopped. I can't. Come on. Come on. You could do it. And now he's right back to flying. He apparently has 2 speeds. That's one of the ones I did the decoder, upgraded from. I upgraded from analog to digital, and some of them, they just, I need to go in and adjust their speeds. They either go 100, a couple of them go 150 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour. So hopefully this is, now maybe I can get it in. I'll try to pick it up, bridge view first. It's an E41024. So I assume that's a 141, the progenitor of a 141. Come on, little fella, slow down. I know it's been years since you run. Can't type well. Yep. The progenitor of the 141s that we have today. Well, that's the problem with these trains. Sometimes you want to see it, and there's always another train passing the other way. That's the problem when I'm running so many trains. Come on, there's nobody here right now, but the 2 ICs are going to come through at the same time, but they won't be in the way. There you go. Now you can see it. Nice, nice, nice. Of course, they look better on a TV than a small phone screen. I always encourage people to watch my live stream on a TV if you can. Even a good-sized computer screen is good. On a phone, it's kind of hard to do, but you do what you got to do, right? All right, Eric, safe trip home. Thanks for stopping in as always. Oh, okay. Well, of course, the biggest thing for me is finding 3-rail. That's why Ormondy's. In some ways, I'm glad I don't live closer because I'd be there and spending more money, especially now that I've expanded my range of eras that I follow. You know, Ormondy's has a good supply of American HO and Lionel O scale. They have a good supply. It's not their predominant. They don't necessarily have a lot of new stock. You're not going to walk into there and say, hey, do you have the new Athearn Genesis or whatever, a new whatever just came out. Odds are they might not have that. they'll probably offer to order it for you. But they do have a decent supply of HO stuff, especially older. And then their Lionel is pretty strong because the area they live in is a very strong Lionel. That's where their biggest money is. Where did I set my drink? Oh. I know I got it out of the refrigerator. Where did I set it? Oh, well, I have to get... Oh, there it is. Oh, that was just brilliant. Camouflaged. But anyhow, how, you know, you're all doing well, you say, or hanging in there trying to survive storms. Anybody doing anything cool? You know, Friday's a big day for videos. I was just watching Robert Strain set his new video because he's up in the loft for the first time in a long time, and I only got about halfway through it before I had to turn everything on here and get going. Rabel Bell had a new video, his usual Friday. Steve Childers, I was watching his live stream and then got a couple of calls, so I didn't get to watch the last half of his live stream. A lot of people go up on Friday. A lot of people go up on Friday. Yeah, if you do a bus tour. Joyce and I are not likely to do the bus tour. Now, to be honest, we did one of those hop-on, hop-off bus tours in London, the official company hop-on, hop-off, and we had no problems with that. We got a deal. We paid the equivalent of about $15 each, and we really got to see more of London than we would have just trying to pick and choose what to see. But, you know, Joyce and I didn't go to the UK to see London. Now, I've always wanted to see Copenhagen, but there's a lot of things of Denmark that are elsewhere. You know, Copenhagen is just the most famous, and it's actually far to the east. You know, you have Denmark, the Jutland Peninsula, or Jutland Peninsula, and then you have all the islands, and then the one big island to the east, across the straits from Malmo in Sweden, is Copenhagen. So it's interesting how you go from the mainland to get to Copenhagen. Ferries and bridges over different islands to get across. It's going to be interesting, but Jean Ricard's going to drive us to Copenhagen and stay with us in Copenhagen for a couple of days. You quit chewing Copenhagen and snuff 30 years ago, and you still miss it. Oh, I don't. I never smoked, never chewed tobacco. But I worked, when I was in school, I worked at a bowling alley, and it was in the middle of country Ohio, and everybody at the bowling alley pool hall, anything they could spit chewing tobacco into, they spit. It was nasty, and I had to clean it every day, or every night. Yeah, I had a friend who owned a comic book shop here in Toledo for years and years and years and years. He went to Amsterdam for the heights, shall we say. I'm going to see Amsterdam for the Rijksmuseum and the I'd like to see the Anne Frank House in Amsterdam and just see the city of Amsterdam. The royal residence and everything, just see the city. I have been in Amsterdam about 6-7 times, but only through the airport, which isn't even in Amsterdam, it's in Schiphol. Yep, Van Gogh. A joke in Amsterdam is that the Rijksmuseum looks like the Central Station. Well, hopefully I'll be able to see both someday and compare both. Because someday Joyce and I are going to hit the Netherlands, but it would be easier, except we've now expanded. We've added, you know, when Joyce and I talked heavily about doing a Scandinavian trip, because we want to go to Oslo in Norway. I'd like to get up to Bergen or Norvik. And then Helsinki in Finland, Stockholm and Gothenburg in Sweden. We just want to hit that whole area. But when we always talked about doing that, we weren't putting the UK on our agenda, and we weren't putting Australia on the trip agenda. And now those two have been added. We went to the UK. We've got friends there, so now we want to go back often. So it used to be mainland Europe every year, and one of those years, okay, well, we'll just go and do Scandinavia instead of Germany. Well, now it's, okay, there's mainland Europe, there's the UK, and there's Australia. Now it's sort of on a every 3-year cycle, which I love, but at the same time, it's hard because my first love is Central Europe, Central Northern Europe. I really, there's so many things to see, and I want to do that Scandinavia trip, and unless I can talk Joyce into traveling twice in a year, okay, when do we substitute this? Because if we substitute Scandinavia in for Germany, then it would be 5 years in between Germany trips. Because we do Germany, UK, Australia, Scandinavia, UK, Australia, Germany. And you do that just one time, that's looking 5 years down the road. That's looking 5 years down the road. And I'm all of a sudden, I'm 65, 66. How many more trips do I have in me? The rail jets are up, but they're not running. They're parked happily, relaxing. You can see the Czech rail jet is parked right here. And then the other one is below this camera. The Austrian one is below that camera. But yeah, you'll notice that all the platforms are gone in front of Bremen because I've got to custom make more, and I just need to get down there, measure, and I've been waiting for good weather so I can work in the garage on my saw table and cut them all down to the lengths, the specific lengths I want. Alhagen is close but not narrow enough, or too narrow with their platforms. Fowler's platforms are too wide or too narrow, so it has to be custom made. I took them out because I redid the track. For example, since you were last in the video, since you were last here, Stefan, those over there, you can see all those points. That was a really long line of turnouts, you know, reverse turnouts, left-hand turnouts there, I believe. No, right-hand turnouts there. And I replaced them all with a string of double slips to make it smoother and shorter because I'm going to put a river scene in here. I'm going to make the Weser River right here. The Weser River is going to go right here. And then I did the same thing over here. I got rid of all the double slips, or I got rid of all the turnouts and replaced them with double slips. So the coolest thing in the world for me this week was Wednesday. I was sitting here picking out what trains I'm going to run for the live stream, and I didn't have to get up. My laziness factor was at maximum. I just sat here, opened the double slips, opened the points, ran the trains off. I actually did some shunting because I had to move some of the trains over here because I'm now parking that Märklin train on the layout. So somebody else had to come off and go somewhere else. But I just sat here. I didn't have to get up and flip everything manually because the other thing I did, Stefan, is they're all digital. So I don't have to go and manually flip the switches anymore. It's all right here on my computer screen. All right, good night, Simon. So yeah, I'm very thrilled because this has removed a 4-year wall because I wasn't happy with this track, the way it was set up, and I'd been toying with for years from ripping it all out and starting all over. But because I decided to go with these double slips, it forced me to do it, and without having to rip it all out, it's now exactly what I want. And I just get to, I'll start putting in scenics. I'll start putting in some, that's one thing I probably will buy at the train show tomorrow. I'm going to buy some ballast, because I'm going to start putting some ballasting in. And I'm also hoping in the next few weeks to get back to messing with the Fowler car system again. No, they were not digital. Some of my turnouts were, but most of them were not. A few of my turnouts were digital, but most of them were not. So now everything's digital. The only thing that is not yet digital is, what's the best camera for this? The little pass I built right here. This little hidden reverse loop from lane 3 to lane 3. I put that in. Actually, maybe the DB4 camera is the better one to show that on. Yeah, there we go, DB camera. Yeah, I also put in a little reversing loop right here so that I can turn trains around and run them the other way without having to take them apart. And those two are not digital, so they're going to be made digital. So yeah, I've done a lot of changes with how the track, how I change lines and move trains around, and now it's 100% lazy, ugly American, because I don't have to do anything. I could just sit here, open the switch, close the switch, beep, 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 beep. I don't have to get up and flip it with my hand or reach with my stick to flick it, because I would have to do that for a couple of them over there at one time. I'd have to reach over with the stick and catch the little flipper manual and go click. So now that it's all digital, it's ready for ballasting. Well, that's just it. I don't do anything gradual. I do a crap load in a week and then nothing for a year or two, or in this case 4. It's been 4 years since I worked on the track. It's been 4 years since I've done anything about track. And so in the last couple of, last 3 weeks, I have done a lot. I got a crap load of videos up about it, just showing what I did. Yeah, and I'm a lazy person. That's why I don't work hard on I come down here and I think, maybe I'll do some work on the track. And then I'll turn on a train and go, maybe I'll just watch the train instead. Or I'll just watch some more YouTube videos about trains. And then there are days where I'm like, I've got to get work done. And then like 5 of my friends have posted videos like, nope, I got to watch my friends' videos. That's more important. Hey, we got a little 3-way going in the back there. 3 trains passing each other. Get your minds out of the gutter. Rusty Twanger playing let's see, can I do it? Add image. Okay, hang on, I gotta figure out which one. Delmenhorst low view. So I think it's image 7. So add. Sorry guys, I'm playing around here. Add existing. Don't mind me, I'm just being silly. All right, there we go. All right, good night, hi, take care. Yep, it is all relative, indeed. My problem is when that camera focuses. My relative, because I'm a monkey's uncle. And I just met the monkey. And I didn't even know I was related to Mickey Dolenz. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you, I'm here all week. Try the wheel. Danke, danke. Probier mal den Schnitzel. Is there anybody there? Ah, the freight train's there. Oh, dude. You just stopped there? What the heck? Come on, E41. It's warp speed or nothing for you, I see. Dude. I'll just have to adjust that speed. The problem is I say it now, and then I don't think about it until next time. But there's that nice Märklin, all Märklin logo train. I still got to get some of the double containers, but I'll look for those in Germany and Denmark. Maybe Luxembourg too, who knows? Did everybody just freeze up, or did nobody's talking? Uh-oh, they're all silent. That's scary. Quick, somebody type. There we go. Well, hello, Sir Alan Reynolds of Buckland Junction. Nice to have you. Nice little Austrian IC going through. One of the cars is actually lit. Of course, those Austrian ICs now are more special since Joyce and I rode one from Stuttgart to Salzburg. Riding next to a couple of fellow teachers, and wow, that one woman, the 4 hours or however long that train ride was from Stuttgart to Salzburg, she didn't stop talking to take a breath. she somehow managed to take a breath and keep talking at the same time. She was talking. She and her colleague were going to some teacher convention in Salzburg, and all she did on that trip was talk to this other teacher, I think from the same school, or at least the same city, and brag about how great she is and everything she does. You know, how wonderful the gymnasium is, and, you know, just how great all these amazing programs she's done, and how it's like, wow, lady, even if you are that good, you don't need to brag about it to your colleague. If you need to brag about how good you are that much, it's because you don't think you really are that good. You need everybody to see you as great. Bonsoir, mon ami Titi Ari. Comment allez-vous? Stefan, what do I think about the new Dodge Charger? The hybrid is really nice. Joyce and I just saw the new Charger, the 2-door version. They don't have the 4-door version yet. About a month ago, our local dealership got their first one in, and we took our car in for servicing, and I went up to look at it. It is wild, but man, is it a nice car. I like it. And it's still got fabulous horsepower, and it is a hybrid, so it's gas and electric. But it's a nice, it's a really nice car. I like it. I saw the first Dodge Hornets a year and a half ago. I forget how long ago it's been, but I saw the new Dodge Hornets. I like those. The hybrids, they got the hybrids in. They've delayed releasing the all-electric ones. The Dodge Hornets are nice, but they're trying to recapture the market they had with the Dodge Caliber. And to be honest, I think they should have just kept making the Dart and then done the Dart as a hybrid. But that's the Fiat ownership. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know how Fiat makes money, because the ownership of Fiat are imbeciles, and the ones that supervise the American wing of Fiat, which is Chrysler now, are imbeciles. No, the new Dodge Charger, they're going to continue to make a all gas, a V8 gas, but the new Dodge Charger is a hybrid. They're discontinuing the Challenger, or as they've been calling it the last couple of years, the Hellcat Demon. They're going to discontinue that, and they're going to have a 2-door hybrid and a 4-door hybrid, and then they will still make a limited supply of the standard Charger, but they have released a 2-door, and the 4-door is coming in September, I believe, but it is a hybrid. Oh yeah, they're bringing the trucks back, but sadly it's not Dodge anymore. It is Ram. They totally took Ram away from Dodge. It doesn't have Dodge engineers anymore. Well, it probably has a couple. but Dodge has no say in Ram anymore. It used to be Dodge controlled Ram, but then when Fiat took over Chrysler, they took Ram away from Dodge and made it a separate entity. Because, again, if I want to be negative, Fiat, I think, was looking at, they wanted to kill the Dodge name, and by taking Ram away from Dodge, which was a very profitable wing, they thought Dodge would be in the red and therefore not make any money. But they didn't look at their books because Dodge and Jeep are the only profitable wings of Chrysler. Chrysler makes no money. The only thing that's barely keeping Chrysler afloat is that Chrysler makes the Town and Country and Pacifica minivans and nothing else. And Dodge, of course, who invented the minivan, or at least the modern era minivan with the Caravan, and that annoys me about Wikipedia. You go to Wikipedia, it says Chrysler invented this. No, Dodge invented the minivan. It wasn't Chrysler. It was Dodge engineers doing it on their own. They invented the minivan that became the symbol of middle class and upper middle class America in the late 80s, 90s, and 2000s. But anyhow, they stopped the Dodge making so there'd be no competition for Chrysler. So it does well, but Chrysler is barely holding water. Dodge makes a profit, Jeep makes a profit, Ram makes a profit. The problem is there are members of the Chrysler family still on the board for Chrysler, and they're not going to cancel their family name because they were talking about doing it this year, that they were going to cancel the Dodge name and just make it the Chrysler Charger. And when word got out they were considering that, the media backlash from the Dodge people was, if you change it to Chrysler, I'm moving to Ford. If you change it from Dodge to Chrysler, I'm going to Ford. I'm going to Chevy. Yeah, they changed their minds. It's still discussed under the table, but they've decided not to do it. But yeah, and the idea is that they would eventually, Fiat's goal was to use Chrysler and stick the Chrysler name on a bunch of Fiat cars and hope that it would get them over, but it didn't work. And in fact, Dodge designed the Dart, which then Chrysler took and created the Chrysler 200 on the same chassis, and then Fiat took it and put it on their new Giulia, or whatever they called it. They used that Dodge design on the Giulia, and then they tried to bring the Giulia back here to America, and it died. It bombed. And the funny thing is, Fiat canceled the Dart because of that. And the Dart was selling. It was Dodge's most successful new car since they brought back the Challenger. The Dart was selling well, but Fiat said, well, you have to capture 7% of the North American market or we're canceling it. And they got up to like 5.5%, so Fiat said, nope, we're canceling it. It's like, how do you expect to cancel 7% of a market that is so dominated by the Japanese and Korean market, the Kias, the Hondas, the Hyundais, and, you know, the compact car market? How do you expect Dodge in just 5 years to get 7% of that market? The fact that they got up to 5.5 and won a ton of awards should have been a clue that they were on the right pace. But, you know, hey. Hey, Sir Brian. No, they changed it. They changed it, Stefan. It was going to be all EV, but they've now released a hybrid instead. Trust me, I was there. The Charger EV was delayed until late 2025. Originally, it was going to be out June this year. Now they're saying late 2025, and I'm hearing they're just going to not release the all EV. Because the EVs were cool, but what they've got at my dealership, the new Charger, that is hybrid. Because trust me, we were one insane moment from Joy saying, yeah, let's get it. If we didn't already have a car payment, we might have bought the hybrid, because Joyce would like to go to a hybrid. Yeah, and they should be, Randall. That's how I am. Yeah, they're saying the EV has arrived, but it's a hybrid. At least the ones my dealership has, because trust me, we went all through it. Gas mileage, electrical vehicle mileage, total range, one, both, the other. Well, we've got all here at the local dealerships are all hybrids. Dodge Charger hybrids. They were going to do it as an EV, and the original production models looked really cool, but EVs are not popular right now in America, so they changed it. You just watched Uncle Tony's Garage? The Hornet. The Hornet was supposed to be an EV, but the one we saw was a hybrid. I'll have to see what Uncle Tony's Garage is saying, because unless Dodge didn't release it locally, all the ones we have here are hybrids. And Dodge originally didn't announce a hybrid, because you could go back to a live stream a year ago or so, and I was talking about, God, why don't Dodge is going straight to EV? Why don't they release a hybrid? Hybrids will sell better. And they turned around and it's a hybrid. I'm actually going to be at the dealership tomorrow, because I have to take my car in for a tune-up. And so I'll snap some pictures of it and the tag. Or maybe Dodge was advertising it over there or on the East Coast where Uncle Tony is, as an EV, but it's actually a hybrid. But it is electrical, but it is a hybrid. But yeah, the Hornet is a different beast. Because again, they announced a Dodge EV Charger, and I've been waiting to see one. And when I went to the dealership a month ago to take my other car in for a tune-up, they had just gotten the first one, and it's the 2-door, not even the 4-door. But it's a Dodge Charger EV hybrid. No, Great Northern, you really need to look at the name of my channel again. You need to look at the name of my channel. And Great Northern, I'm related. It's my family. Okay, it was cousins of mine that's, well, technically distant cousins of mine. But my great-grandfather helped start the company. Yep. Yeah, my last name is Dodge, and my great-grandfather helped start the company. It was his cousins that they were all working for Henry Ford. The two brothers, my grandfather was a tool maker. My great-grandfather was a tool and die guy, and so he was making parts for Henry Ford, and his cousins were Henry Ford's top engineers. They actually were the ones who designed the Model T and the Model A. And Henry Ford had a notorious temper, and Dodge brothers don't take second place to anybody in anything. And so their tempers were, well, great. And they got into a fight with Model A production. And Henry Ford, the famous quote everybody in my family is brought up learning, Henry Ford said, looking at the two brothers, said, if you sons of think you can build a better car than me, go start your own company. And in 1914, they started Dodge Brothers Automobiles. DBA, Dodge Brothers Automobiles. And my great-grandfather went to work for them. He left Ford as well. You know, hey, you don't insult family, you know. So all the Dodges quit Ford and they started Dodge Company, and he became their tool and die guy. But then just as they were getting rich, they got into a fight. My great-grandfather quit and then retired. My grandfather took over the shop, and then he lost pretty much everything in the Depression. So we're the poor side of the family, but we're the live side of the family, because all the people that are from the actual guys that started the company, even though my great-grandfather helped start it, it was the Dodge brothers, Horace and John Dodge and Horace Dodge started it, and then my great-grandfather worked for them as a supplier. All of their descendants are dead. And the Dodge fortune, the Dodge car fortune, sits in a bank in Denver, Colorado. Look it up. I'm not making this up. Just Google Dodge family fortune. Anybody who knows Dodge knows that Ford can't hold a candle to Dodge. The only problem with Dodge has always been about horsepower. And it's taken Dodge forever. It took Dodge forever to come up with, although I will say this, Dodge developed a car called the Rabbit. Well, no, it was a copy. It was the Dodge Omni that in 1978 got 70 miles to the gallon. And it didn't sell well because it looked too European. And then 10 years later, when the big gas-guzzling American cars finally started dying out, Dodge focused on horsepower. And they went through some bad times with Chrysler. And, but yeah, Dodge has always been about horsepower. And so when they finally went with a good compact car, the Dart, that had plenty of horsepower for a compact, and it had plenty of space. But Dodge was always about horsepower. Ah, Grand Marquis. My dad had a Grand Marquis, a 77 Grand Marquis. That's a joke. That's why everybody knows what Ford stands for. Effed over rebuilt Dodge. That's why if you watch the famous movie Bullet, Ford was a sponsor for it. Ford was a sponsor for the movie Bullet, Steve McQueen. So Steve McQueen wanted to drive a Pontiac. The filmmaker said he had to drive the Ford Mustang. And the villains were put in Dodge Chargers because they were the villains. But they had to handicap those Chargers because they went through something like 6 Mustangs doing that famous chase scene. 1 Charger, 6 Mustangs. True story. And they had to put restrictions into the Dodge engine because the Mustang couldn't outrun it. Ford stands for first on race day. Only if the race is against tricycles. Yeah, when I was a kid and all the old generation in my family was alive, the old generation that knew the cousins that started the car company, or, you know, from my great-grandfather and all his descendants and all that. If you showed up at the family reunion, which originally was in Ada, Ohio, if you showed up for the Dodge family reunion where all the Dodges from across the country came, if you showed up to that reunion, there were 2 cars you better not be driving. Well, I shouldn't say 2 cars. You better not be in a foreign car, Japanese, German. No, I remember great uncle William driving a Mercedes to one in the 1970s, and the family chased him off the lot. You want to park that car? You go park across the street somewhere else. You aren't bringing that in here. And you didn't drive a Ford. You didn't drive foreign, and you didn't drive a Ford. They didn't care if you drove Plymouth or Chevy, but if you drove a Ford or you drove a foreign car, German, Japanese, oh no, you took a lot of crap. Yep, Fiat, fix it again tomorrow. I grew up, I don't care. My son grew up, because everybody in my family drives Dodges. Everybody in my family drives Dodges. All three of my kids drive Dodges. But my son's new wife, she grown up in a family that Nissan or Kia. And she asked him before they married, she's like, your family's not going to make me drive a Dodge. And I was like, we don't make anybody drive anything, but why do you have such a negative attitude without driving one? You know, but because her dad is all-American cars stink. If it's made in America, it sucks. It's like, well, your Nissan's been made in America for 20 years. Come on. But yeah, I'll always just drive Dodge. I'll never drive anything else because I get to drive a car with my name on it. So I don't care what other people drive. I just drive what I drive, and I've never been done wrong. But again, I grew up knowing how to work on cars. I will say this though, my dad was the rebel. He drove Fords to make his dad mad. My dad would never drive a Dodge. He drove Fords or Plymouths, but he would never drive a Dodge. He didn't buy a Dodge until he was, 60 years old. I guilted him into it. He went out and bought a new Dodge Intrepid when the Intrepids came out. And he loved that car, but he didn't want to love that car because I always guilted him. Because the very first car I bought was a Ford, a 68 or 69 Ford Talladega GT. Gran Torino Talladega. I paid $100 for it from a neighbor, and 2 years later I sold it for scrap for $40. So it was a $60 car. It had 90,000 miles on when I bought it and was a rust bucket. It had about 115,000 miles on it when he made me buy it off a neighbor. I was looking at spending $1,000 on this Challenger a guy had, a 71 Challenger. And my dad would not let me buy it. It was my freaking money, and he won't let me buy it. I have to co-sign, and I have to file insurance, and I'm not filing insurance. And he made me buy this stupid fastback Talladega. I used to call it the Flintstone car, the Fred Flintstone car, because I could lean back in the driver's seat and look out and see the front tires, because it had rusted through on the plate there. It had rusted through. You could actually see the wheel. I put so much Bondo and metal work into that car. But, I kept it going for a couple of years. And I probably would have kept it going years more. But I loaned it to my sister one day, who was no police were involved, but I'm sure she probably had one too many. And she drove it into the back of a salt truck. My car originally came to a point. I got up the next morning to go out and go to school, drive my car to school, and its front end was like this. The front end was supposed to be like that. And I'm just like, Roberto, what the hell you do to my car? Oh, yeah, I ran it into the back of a ice plow last night. You couldn't wake me up and tell me? And after that, it just started having problems after problem after problem. Good night, Sir Leslie. Take care. Yeah, Carl, that one works too. Not all Dodges are built in Canada, but the Chargers were. The recent iterations of the Chargers have been built in Canada since 2010. The Challengers are built in the United States. The Chargers were built in Canada. The original Chargers, the comeback Chargers, 2005, 2006 Chargers, those were built in St. Louis. Was it St. Louis? And then when they revamped the Charger design, beginning with the 2010 model, they moved it to somewhere in Ontario, Canada. No, I just put the Bondo in and, you know, with the metal mesh and the Bondo just to keep quarter panels from falling off and so forth. You know, I was always checking the safety. I definitely had holes on the corners, but it was not dangerous. It was still safe to drive. It wasn't like the whole bottom of the car was going to fall out. But after my sister hit it, cracked it up, it just seemed to, you know, it's sort of, I don't want to say it and offend anybody, but it's sort of like a 85-year-old man who's fairly healthy and gets around well, but he falls and hurts himself, and they just never seem to ever get back to where they were before they fell. And sometimes it just seems like a slow decline after that. But yeah, Joyce and I have to go to the dealership tomorrow, so I'll go up and take some pictures of that one. But yeah, that's enough the yakking and bragging about cars, because we chased a lot of people off with that. So we can talk trains. All you do to me is talk trains. So yeah, sometime Sunday around 9:15, I shall be going live. I wanted to set it up through the smartphone on Streamlab, because StreamYard. What kind of gases are being released from the factory back there? None. It's energy free. But you know, we're Toledo, which is it's not the birthplace, but it's the hometown of the Jeep. Even though the European, Asian, African, well, no, they split. What's made here in the United States, Toledo still makes a lot, but I think all the ones made in Toledo are North American release, and then they have a factory, again, I think in St. Louis, or they moved that one, Jeep. That's for South America, that it's certain lines. And then, but some of those and some in Toledo do get shipped to South America and elsewhere. And then they have a factory, Jeep has a factory, it's in Austria, I believe, that covers Europe, Asia, part of Asia, and part of Africa. Oh, that's not white smoke. If you're looking at that backdrop scene there, that's not white smoke. That is light reflecting off of a gloss picture. That is actually a picture on a bridge over the Danube River in a town called Pirna, Germany, which is just east of Dresden, Germany, in Eastern Germany. So that's just a, that's light reflection. No, I had to look at it and go, yeah, it does look like smoke, doesn't it? But yeah, that is, my wife took that picture. In fact, any photographs that I use as backdrops just because I was trying to experiment and see if it looked good as scenery. Let's go to the 11 lane view. Like back there, my wife took all those pictures from, usually from trains. Like these pictures in the back here that you see in the back of this video, that's a series of pictures my wife took from a train ride between Hamburg and Bremen, or not Bremen, Hamburg and Berlin. We were going through Mecklenburg-Vorpommern area because we were taking a different route because they were working somewhere. This is like 15, 20 years ago. So she just snapped those pictures, and all I did was keep mirror imaging them and then splicing them together. So it's like the same 4 pictures, just reversed onto each other. Hallo Dominique, wie geht's, wie steht's? Let's see, I don't know if you guys would see this one. Let's go to station view. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but on the wall in the background, in the back left, is actually the city of, some bits from the city of Delmenhorst. So my wife took we got a couple of pictures of Delmenhorst, and we just stuck it back there. So those pictures are actually taken from the train station, looking towards that side of Delmenhorst. Did you? All right, well, I'll check it out sometime this evening when I'm done here today. Yeah, and if you happen to get a camera that does panorama shots, those are really good. You just have to move a couple of feet. You don't want to stand and try to do a 360 image because it'll create warpage when you try to expand them. But like take a picture and then just move to your side, you know, laterally, one way or the other, take another picture, and then you just splice them together. Or like my wife Joyce did, you just open the window on the train and we had a camera that said make panorama, where it just stitched all the pictures together, and she just click, 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 and we got 4 pictures. We didn't even have motion blur. We did not have motion blur. So, because it was a really good point and shoot camera. Wine bottle with green wheels. It has something to do with sugar and spies. All right, well, we'll check it out. There's about 3 other videos I still have to watch yet today. I actually want to make a video sometime today after this live stream and another one tomorrow. Boy, I tell you, I was on a roll getting tons of views with all the videos I put out, but the last couple had died, and I said, well, it was the last couple of videos anyhow for a while, but my channel died this week with no videos up. Just no views, nothing to watch. Nobody watched. But again, if you want to laugh, we've got parody songs up. We'll have I don't know when it's going to go up, but Joyce and I are doing, it's not a parody song, but it's a video answering new questions about our parody songs, we're going to talk about it. And then I'm going to film putting these generic points in and see if I can figure out how to make them work. Take 100 over 500 feet. Yeah? Hey, Sir Andy 81E, welcome in. Oh, of course it does, Andy. I'm just grateful anybody comes in. I mean, we really, at this stage, other than the occasional new train, I run the same trains. Yes, a different mix each week because I've got lots of trains now. But it's the same thing. I babble, you guys watch trains, you chat with each other. I say something that angers somebody and they leave, and then, and yet people come back each week. $257 straight Fridays. I'm going to keep saying that until I jinx it. I haven't missed a Friday in almost 5 years. You promoted him. Andy 83. 83E. You've been promoted. Well, hi, Jake. Hope you're well, Sir Jake of the Haunted Railway. I'm going to nag my wife and just see if she's going to actually make it on stream today. I better use proper grammar. She might even be listening in as I'm doing this. Yeah, we just moved there, so we've only been waiting for the train. And actually, we're just rail fanning. We're just very formal rail fanners. We're just very formal rail fanners there. We wanted to listen. We were standing further down the platform, and we came up because we heard this guy playing banjo with a funny voice. Thank ye, everybody. Little tune I wrote back in the day. Sitting at the station at Big Gulch, wondering how his life brought him here. They gave him a badge, doubted he'd ever last. Now he's the one and only sane person here. Heck, you know it ain't easy. Hello, David. You know how hard it can be. Oh, I disagree. A rusty twanger is not something you want to be working on, especially publicly. See, that's the great thing about the names, like Rusty Twanger. Twanger is an old term for a guy who played banjo. They were a twanger. But it also was a slang term for a certain male body part. So Rusty Twanger has a double meaning, both funny. Hey, Sir Kieran, how are you? We had a snow rain today. The other day it actually got over 50 degrees. It was kind of nice. And we actually saw some sun. And yesterday it was only about 33 degrees Fahrenheit, so half a degree Celsius. But we actually had a bright sun. That's only the second time we've seen the sun in the last 4 months. Where, I mean, it was a really sunny day. Had to explain to my grandson what the sun is. He's like, Opa, what is this yellow shiny thing in the sky? I'm too young to remember what it looked like. It's in the mid-70s where you are. Yeah, I was seeing that there's a warm-up in the plains area, but yeah, we're not going to get that warm-up. Which is weird, because usually, sometime in January, we usually have a 3 to 5 day period where we get 60 Fahrenheit. You know, let's say 12 to 21 Celsius for a few days in a row. But yeah, about 50 to 70. About 50 to 70. And yeah, we never had that week in January this year. We didn't have that little warm-up period. February was just consistent. We had a very icy week in February. And then it's just been 20s and 30s. And then to start off March, March is kind of coming in like, well, I don't know. We had a lot of rain the first couple of days of March. And then the last couple of days, it's been decent, cold, relatively cold, 0 Celsius. But you're happy with 8 degrees. When I was young, the minute it was over 45, that was t-shirt wet, 45 Fahrenheit. So what is that, about 6, 7 Celsius? That was t-shirt weather. Now, I'm still in a hoodie until it's over 60. But I still hate it the minute it gets over 80. I can't stand it when the outside temperature is over 80. Even if there's no humidity or very low humidity, then it's fine. And it's nice for playing tennis and so forth. But, boy, middle of summer when we're 85 to 90 and high humidity here, I can't stand it. Again, the only thing it's good for is keeping the muscles loose when you're playing tennis or kayaking. But otherwise, you're gross and you just, ugh. Asked Joyce if she was going to get out earlier, and she's like, no. If it's over 21, you hide indoors. Wow. Yeah, 21, 70 Celsius is about 70 Fahrenheit is about 21 Celsius. I've only taught this for years, so I'm usually pretty close. I don't have a perfect temperature. Like, if I'm going to go swimming, then anything over 65 degrees is great. And if it's over 90, I don't care because I'm in the water. But I won't go outside and do anything else when it's 90 degrees. You know, in other words, about 30, the minute's 35, 36 Celsius. No, I'm not going outside. I'm staying inside in the air conditioning. I'm not mowing the lawn. I'm not working on anything outside. I'll do it early in the morning. That's why if you ever follow a lot of things, like I'm usually doing a lot of my outdoor construction projects, like building a deck or things like that. I'm doing those in April and May. Even though you're more likely to get rained on, at least you're not baking. Yeah, 75 to me, I would say is a perfect day temperature not in the winter. But I still like winter. I like winter. I like snow. I don't like the deep freezes. But December and January, I'd rather have it, 5, somewhere between around -5 Celsius, about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and a few inches of snow on the ground. I'd rather have that than the ugly, dreary, muddy, brown, and gray when we don't have any snow. Because we have the gray no matter what. And I'd rather have snow on the ground than just the dead grass, the lifeless trees. I like snow. I like winter. But like anybody, I do hit a point where I'm ready for spring. But I like all 4 seasons. So a nice, cool, sunny 57 degree Fahrenheit day, that's nice. But 65 Fahrenheit to 75 Fahrenheit, that's perfect for biking, Joyce and I playing tennis, getting the kayak out. But then when we get the kayak out, we need to also be concerned with water temperature. I don't worry about water temperature. Joyce worries about water temperature. Yeah, and that's the thing, Clintonville, where we're at. Toledo, we are one of the cloudiest cities in North America from November 1st to April 1st. We're one of the cloudiest cities. At one time, I think the last time we were number one, if you want to call it number one, through the 90s. I think there's some city has now passed us because of how the climate's changed a bit. But we were the cloudiest city in North America. We had more days with overcast and cloudy skies from November 1st to April 1st than any other city in North America. We would see the sun sometime around Thanksgiving, or I'm sorry, around Halloween, and then it was clouds pretty much nonstop until March. Other than we would have a week in January where we'd get some days where we would get a bit of a heat wave, and you might get one day with sun and 60 degrees in January. And the only other time you'd see the sun is right after a big snowstorm. If we had a big snowstorm, within a day or two, you'd see the sun. Dido is still here. Hello, Ian Van Dan. Model Eisenbahn. Ian. Model Eisenbahn. Axial tilt is a pain on the posterior. Indeed. Yeah, 18. It's warm over there. Es ist warm da drüben. All right, we've been on this camera enough. One of the Warley tickets being released. Warley? Who's thinking Warley? It's too early to be thinking Warley or Getz. Oh, are you talking a different Warley show? Oh, let's go down and check out the guys on the floor for a few minutes. We'll watch that Azuma. Azuma. And that Inner City Swallow. I don't think it's a 125. I think it's just a Swallow. You just like to plan ahead. Understood. But yeah, I need to find some of our pictures from the UK that we could stitch together, and I'm going to glue them on the back of that. That's actually the back of a credenza right below me here, where the UK trains are running. Yeah, the highest we've ever hit in Toledo, we broke 110. But we don't get over 100 often, although, to be honest, it's probably a little rarer now. We're in the 90s a lot more often, but we don't hit the 100 mark as often as we did when I was younger. But again, as this area is shifting into, I forget what Joyce and my daughter call it, semi-tropical or whatever line, you know. So our winters have less moisture, they're warmer overall, but when we have cold spells, they're colder, but we're not getting the snow, and we don't have the 30 to 40 days through the winter like we had at times when I was a kid. It's minus 20, it's 20, or it's 50. You know, it's no longer where the medians were. Yeah, I can't, not going to make it to another, I can't say that because Joyce was talking about our next UK trip. If she retires, we could travel in October instead of June. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the UK in October. She wants to do Australia in October, but she says we could do the UK trip in October instead of June, and then we could go to Getz again. The chat has died again. Yeah, I mean, the accents are changed, but we are. I mean, it's, unfortunately, you can't discuss science without it becoming political. But we humans in our industrial age have affected the climate. We are affecting the climate. It shouldn't be something that becomes a political debate. Now, you can debate politics on how you want to deal with it, but we had that problem back in the 70s and early 80s. We talked about the ozone layer. You know, the ozone. We were making a huge hole in the ozone layer, and it was creating dramatic effects to it. And people say, yeah, nobody talks about it anymore. Yeah, because we banned all the the fluorocarbons. Sorry, inverting my words there. We banned them all, and the layer healed itself. As scientists said it would. Yeah, things are changing. Things are changing. Oh, yeah, there's that. Yeah, the CFCs. Now, I don't remember that, being a teenager in the 70s. We were just talking about the ozone layer. But yeah, they said that they were talking, even then, that ice ages were cyclical, you know, and they are. I mean, technically, we are heading back into another ice age. It's just, are we making it come a heck of a lot faster, a lot more violently? Well, we've affected the Earth. We haven't drastically affected the climate until the industrial age. We've drained, Toledo was a swamp in the 1820s. We drained it, and now it's not a swamp. But all the water that used to be here just went into Lake Erie and made certain rivers bigger and wider. So we affected the ecosystem, but we didn't affect the climate. But, you know, the problem is, again, you can't talk about, because there's like 3% of scientists that get paid by companies to say there's nothing wrong, who say there's nothing wrong, and people will quote that 3% of scientists instead of the 97% of scientists who all agree on these things. Yeah, it should be something that people can discuss rationally without it becoming a political divide. But unfortunately, in too many countries, everything has become political, and we don't talk politics here, other than to say we don't talk politics here. Yes, again, that's changing ecosystem. That's not changing climate. There's a difference between climate and ecosystem, geography and ecosystem and climate. All right, Brian, good night. Hopefully you don't get too warm then. You got another 9F to add. Okay, that's cool. So, Chris, I'm going to ask a stupid question, sir. Are all 9Fs 210Os? I assume so, right? Just like all Pacifics are 462s. I know what a GG1 is. I don't know anything about them, but I know what it is. I know what they look like. Sadly, I think I've got a messed up motor in my Deutsche Bahn 249. Everything works on it except the motor. It'll go on my track, it'll light up, but it won't move. I've taken it apart to see what's wrong with it. I think the motor just is gone. So I'll either have to order a new motor or send it out and get it repaired. So I currently have two trains that are two of my stock that are unable to run. I've got a class 442, which I still haven't sent out. And now my, the earlier 249, the Märklin 249 is fine. But each of your 9Fs is different. Well, I can understand that, but, you know, because different companies or whatever will have different, just like 462s. When I was a kid, the only thing I understood about trains was how to do the wheel, on steamers, was the wheel arrangement. You know, I knew what 462 meant. And then I had to learn, when I got into model trains a few years ago, that, like, different countries do it differently. Like, the French do it, a lot of their classes, like 141, a 141. That's what we would call a 282. Because they do it from one side. I think the Japanese do that as well, where they just do one side. Like what we would call a 462, the Japanese would call a 231. My buddy Christopher, if you're still listening in the background, am I right on that? Like the Japanese would refer to a 462 as a 231, and the French would call it a 231. Yeah, everything I run is what you would call DCC. Everything I run is digital with decoders. So, yeah, I've messed about with it. The decoder is fine unless it could be a signal from the decoder to the motor is gone. Which is why I might just send it out and have somebody else test it and fix it, because I'm not as skilled on that. I could put a new motor in myself, but if it doesn't work, then I'd be like, oh, now what? But everything else on the decoder works. And I've checked to see if the wire from motor to decoder is okay. It looks okay. It's not separated, it's not split. So, and the other one, I just blew the decoder out. The 442 DMU, I blew the decoder. It was in the wrong place at the wrong time over a point, and I accidentally hit something which caused the system to short. And Märklin, all my Märklin stock was fine. The other stuff I had on the rails was fine, but that 442 being on a point for whatever reason, that little shorting out the system fried its decoder. So it just needs a new decoder put in it. So I should order that. My problem is the screw to open it up to get to the decoder is stripped, and I cannot open the darn thing. I have tried so many different, I cannot get that screw. It is completely stripped. So I have no idea how I'm going to open that up. Hello, Mick92! I'm sorry, Mick. You are late, Sir Mick, the Royal Barkeep. We're going to have to dock your pay by 1 barrel a week. We are docking your pay by 1 barrel a week. Hey, Sir Andy Puff Candy Dobson, how are you? Hello, Zeta Fox Paradox. Welcome in. It's been a little while. Glad to see you again here. We debated taking 2 barrels away, but we decided to be magnanimous. Yeah, I've toyed with that. I have toyed with that idea of just drilling it out and then using whatever I got. I'm scared with these shaky hands and microsurgery. Soldering is becoming more and more fun. I just got such nerve damage in my hands that when I try to work that tight an area to get that screw and drill it out, I'm going to hit something vital. It's spurting blood. It's a model train. Yes, but I still hit a vein somehow. I used to fix and repair toys all the time. Electronic toys, electrical toys. I never messed with model trains. I never did model trains. My dad bought me a model train set in 1969 for Christmas, and I played with it, I think, 3 times and thought it was the most boring thing I ever had. And then we moved houses a couple of years later, and I didn't even have room to set it up on the floor in my bedroom, the little oval that came with. There's a little Tyco Santa Fe Super Chief with the war bonnet. It came with a Baby Ruth boxcar and a couple of flatbeds with Santa Fe trailers on it. I keep trying to find pictures on it. Like I'll type Tyco Santa Fe Super Chief train set or whatever. But yeah. I was just not into it. I had no connection to trains. And then I started riding trains in Germany beginning in 2003. And we rode trains everywhere. We never rented a car. We just took trains, trams, buses. And I decided I wanted to buy a model train after 10 years or so of doing this. I decided I'd buy a model train as a memento of all these trips to Germany. And I bought it. It was a digital one. And if you don't know, my track is all 3-rail. This is 3-rail stuff. And so it's digital. So this train, it was an ICE3. It has all the functions, all these fun noises and sounds and lights and everything. And because I had ridden on ICE3s and seen them everywhere, it now had a connection to me. And I was going to put it in my classroom, and instead I set it up in the house. And, well, that was in 2016, and now I have God knows how many trains. I don't even want to count how many trains I have now. It's a ridiculous number. Granted, there are plenty of people who have more, but I have a lot of trains. I could do a walking tour. Let's do that. Let's have some stupid fun. Or stupidity and no fun. Are you going to work for me? Are you going to work for me? Why is it you work better that way? All right, kids. There we go. All right. You should still be able to hear me. It's a good mic and my voice carries. So this is my herb collection. This is all the stuff I got from Herb. Now I can't see the chat, so you'll have to wait. Why are you mirroring me? Well, that's stupid. Why are you mirroring me? Is that better? Or is that still mirroring? I'll have to go into settings. It's still mirroring. It's a cleaner picture, though. So you're getting a mirror, a reversed image of everything. And then all my beer cars are down here. More beer cars. All the beer wagons. So you can see all the guys parked here. My high-speed trains. Some of my other trains and other trades. I cannot see chat, so if you're asking questions, you'll have to wait. My basic locomotives are back here. A lot of them are on the track right now. And then my grandson plays with a bunch of my cars here. And then all my UK trains are in here, in this bucket. And then I have all kinds of trains in here. Oh, that one's on the track, that's why it's empty. That one's on the tracks. And more and more and more and more and more. So, all right. Let me go back. Okay. No, you cannot run 2-rail on 3-rail. Oh, I'm sorry. I can run 2-rail freight on 3-rail without any problem. Coaches, cars, rolling stock. Locomotives will not work. They won't short out the system, but they won't work because the power comes up through the middle rail. You cannot run 3-rail stuff on 2-rail. It will short your system out. If you buy a car that's from a company like Märklin, which is 3-rail, or it says AC or Wechselstrom or any of that stuff, yeah, it will short your system out. It will short your system out. All right, good night, Kieran. That's an idea too, Zader. But yeah, that was a quick view of some of the rolling stock I have, my collection. And again, I'm not trying to brag about the size of my collection. It's just considering I bought my first train in 2015 and I've expanded this far. That's when I don't like to think about it because I start adding it up and thinking, oh, that could have been a Dodge Viper. But there, you got a little tour of the, you keep finding rolling stock you didn't know you had. No, I occasionally think I have rolling stock that I can't find. Ah, there's Lee. He's listening in the chat while he's editing a video. Yep, we're insured. The problem is we're probably not up to date with just... yeah, I picked up Herb's collection in October and I have not updated it. So anything I picked up since Herb's collection is not officially covered yet. But then the collection is, if I were to have a fire and lose it, I would definitely be able to get it all back, other than the rare trains that were hard to find in the first place. Well, there hasn't been a new Viper since 2012. And then it became the SRT-8 for a few years, and then they discontinued altogether around 2016, 2017. Is that last year? Oh, I've got an inventory. I just need to let my insurance company know I've added all these things and then estimate the values. And let's just say, my friends, I'm good at estimating values. If you know what I mean. Joyce will probably shoot me for telling this story, but we had a flood back in 2008 that took out everything in the basement. And we wouldn't have had the flood, but our city of Toledo was redoing all the sewer lines. So it was a sewer backup. It wasn't even a flood from the river. It was sewer backup. We're talking nasty. It got about 2 inches deep in here. And we had insurance. And we had flood insurance. And we had, the insurance adjuster came in and he didn't look at our policy to say, well, what did you have down here? They asked, it's a really good insurance company. They just asked, what did you have down here? So we itemized everything we had. TV, video game systems, movies, books, etc. Bookshelves, desks, computer table, computer. And so he's writing these things down. And he says, okay, what do you think each of these things was worth? So I'm going through this stuff, and every now and then Joyce interrupts and says, oh, honey, it wasn't worth that much. Yes, honey, the desk we had was maybe worth $50, but buying a new one is going to cost $350. So the desk was worth $350. Shut up. They still, there are things we had to fight and argue over. Speak of the devil, there she is. I was telling the story about when we flooded, and I'm telling the insurance agent that the desk was worth $350, and you're like, honey, that desk wasn't worth $50. And I was like, shut up! Shut up!
Don't be mean to me.
I wasn't being mean, but did that not happen? You're trying to be honest, and I'm like, I'm being honest too. It's going to cost $350 to replace that desk.
Okay. Hi, Tom.
We're talking about because we really need to, with all the stuff I bought from her, we need to re-up the insurance.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Hi, Colin.
I'm glad K Guns
Hi,
mentioned it
Chris.
because I had
Hi,
totally
Nick
forgotten
with
to
the
do
wave.
that.
Hi, Andy with the wave.
Plus the Märklin
Hi,
stuff
other Andy. Hot dog Andy.
and the TEE
Get lots of waves.
and the TEE
Huh?
and the new ICE3s.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to bump that
Ditto.
up. We're going to have to bump that up a few numbers.
So hi, Carl. Oh, hello, Willie. Hello, Billy. We love your videos. You're such a cutie.
See, he never says hi to me, but he says hi to you.
Yeah,
Boy's got his priorities.
I guess so. It's all right.
Let's see, where was I going?
Okay.
Oh, I was going over here to do the Joyce Cam. The Joyce Cam is looking at nothing. Now it is looking at something. Okay, I was looking at track.
I'm at the far.
That's not bad. It's a little more centered. No, that was worse. That's better.
Hi, Lee.
And so let's go to
Is that a shit
Host
wave or
Cam.
what?
Ta-da! Host Cam. Welcome to Host Cam.
Oh, scam.
There we go.
Okay.
I can sit here and not hide behind the UK trains on the floor
Okay. Yeah.
where the students behaving themselves.
Well, they were a little wound up today. And one of them, Mrs. Dodge, Mrs. Dodge, Mrs. Dodge, Mrs. Dodge, I'm helping a student, and this other one over here needs me. So, back off. Hi, Raymond. Oh, you know, this is the end of the quarters next week.
That's right.
So, yeah, we'll only have one more quarter, one more week to go. Yeah, the 2 hour
So
delay
you won't
on
have students.
Friday's a 2 hour delay.
Oh, 2 hour delay. I
Yeah.
thought they now had it where the kids didn't come in that
No,
last day.
no, it's 2 hour delay.
Right, just a 2 hour delay.
Oh, hi, Greg, and hi, Heather.
Yeah, Greg did a live stream yesterday.
Oh, we
I missed.
understand, Greg. Yeah, we're sorry we missed your live stream.
Hi, Greg.
Oh,
Hi,
yes,
Heather.
I
Again.
loved your Amzat cookies.
And I don't know who came in. I didn't catch reactions. I don't know
Okay, gotcha.
if anybody came in, but he said he had a bad week. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's rough. So, yeah, you guys understand. Greg has a hard time tapping.
I had a boring week. After 3 weeks of video,
Yeah.
nothing. I didn't do anything this week. I didn't work on the
Okay.
layout.
Yeah.
I didn't work on the
Okay.
layout. I am going to, either
Okay,
tonight or
good.
tomorrow. I also want to do that video.
This is the things on Sunday, right? Not Saturday, or is it on Saturday?
What?
The train show.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yes, because I was watching you on at work, and you said something about tomorrow I'll do, but I know tomorrow morning we have to get up and go to take the charger over.
Right.
You see if you can jump it?
We can do that tonight, yeah.
You can see if it's jumpable. Watch the craze. Some railfan kid flipped the switch and derailed a train to film it. Oh my goodness. That's horrible.
Oh, no. That kid needs to be taken behind the shed and beaten.
Oh, absolutely. It's 6 hours overtime this week because you have new registration plates, so fleet cars are coming into the market. Gotcha. Oh, good grief. That's rough being overtime like that a lot. Mind you, I work overtime a lot too. I tutor on Monday, Tuesday mornings. I thought I'd better get something for them, so that was one of the reasons. But I lost my sheet, so I had to go.
Well, you get paid for the tutoring, don't you?
I get paid for the tutoring. I had to go back through. They had the report
Because
cards in
we
the folder,
certainly don't get paid for all the work at home.
Yes, I know. Although
I say we.
another teacher
I say
said,
we because
claim a full hour even though you're doing 45 minutes to claim your planning. I thought, oh, I've never done that. That makes sense. So now I do it. That kid got in big trouble. Yeah, he'd have to, especially if it's real. That's terribly dangerous.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Terribly dangerous.
I'm just going to derail this train so I can film it and get a lot of
this
views.
weekend I have to do my questions, so that's my last thing I have to do. It's train abuse. Yes. Lives matter, of course. But
So,
her children should stay on the stairs until puberty.
what's that?
Oh, I've got a year. I can retire next year. I'm trying to go too, but with the way things are right now, things will get very bad next year. I will retire.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk her. I'd probably being too pushy, but I'm trying to talk her into next year being her last year.
I'm trying to do 2 years.
I know.
I wanna get up to
Yeah.
35.
This conversation has been a big circle.
Yes, it has been. I want to go
You
that far.
retire
We'll
next
see.
year. I want to go to that magic number, but that magic number is weird.
It's 35.
I know it's 35 that counts, but you did 2 years where it didn't count.
Yeah, I know.
So your 35 is going to be like 37. Well, the problem is, Chris, I'm sure that kid was probably past puberty.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll see. I have until next March to make a decision, so
Well, to get the bonus.
yeah.
You can announce. Like I said, they told me I had to announce before the start of the school year. Oh, that's it. If you do it before the start of the school year, then you're exempt from
Yeah.
all that other stuff. So you're going to go ahead and do that work, and then if you decide to leave, you did all that work for nothing. That's why you should announce ahead of time.
Yeah, but there's not that much work on and off year.
On an off year.
Yes.
Meh. It's still OTES. If push comes to shove, push.
Nice.
I am nice, and you know that.
I know you're nice, but you're pushing me around.
I'm not pushing you around. You were it says that push comes to shove, so I gave you a push, and you should shove back.
Shove you back.
Okay, now that we got that straight, tit for tat, and I say tat.
Yeah. Is that better?
push
You're
comes
gonna
to
sell
shove.
everything but your trains. If I buy a train car and live with the rails being pulled around for the rest of my life, it'll be trains. Wow, that would be it. Second round, round 2, ding, 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 ding. It's like we're at a fight club.
Now we've debated. For years, I wanted to move, and Joyce did not want to move. And then I finally talked myself into staying, and I put a lot of work into this
We
house.
put a lot of money, a lot of work in this
A lot
house.
of money, a lot of work into this house. But every now and then that urge hits again. But she'll come up with, well, if we can move by water. And she's like, But oh my God, the things we would have to pack to move. And then she's like, what'd you say the other day? It's like, and then we'd have to start all over with the jobs again. So I ain't buying a house again that would need me to work on it. I'm buying a house where the work is done.
No houses.
And somebody who's getting this house, somebody who would get this house, is getting a house where all the work's been done because I've done it. And they're going to get it to a high standard because I go above code. This basement is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks a hell of a lot better than it did the first 25 years we lived in this house.
Yes, it does.
And the upstairs bedroom, the new garage with the driveway and the garage floor.
And the wall not falling down. Yeah.
And nothing's falling down. I would pass a homes on homes inspection easily. Now, the guy who owned the house before me, he's already failed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We have been in this house since December of 93, so 31 going on 32 years. And to this day, I will find something I'm fixing and cuss the previous owner out because I'm fixing something he did horribly. And he was an electrician. He was an electrician, and I would not hire him to change a light bulb.
Nope.
The illegal wiring throughout this house that he did. But the reason we do this is our neighborhood is suddenly a hot neighborhood. And so we are getting real estate people calling us and mailing us and emailing us, asking us, we can sell your house for you. We can get your house gone. We can make X number of dollars on your house right now. You want to sell your house. Hey, are you interested in selling your house? And we're like, no. And we keep getting the calls. We are getting pressured by real estate companies to sell our house because we're an old couple and young people want to move into this neighborhood. So they're trying to push us out so the yuppies can move in. And the funny thing is, we had a police officer, police sergeant, police detective. His wife and 4 little kids live next door to us. They just moved to a much more expensive neighborhood. I'm still not sure how he did it on police money, but
She works too. She's not a
well,
job.
she wasn't doing a high paying job either.
I used to say that wasn't a high paying job. Hi, Randall.
Hey, Randall again. Sorry, just repeat choice. But yeah, we are constantly getting calls,
Tell 'em,
email.
you can sell my house even with the toxic spill, and then they'll be calling.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't buy that stuff anymore.
Black mold?
According to us, you don't have anything. Oh, you need to come down and see the black mold. Oh, we can fix that for you. Yeah, they are really trying to push us out. And Sherry, she's still working. She's retiring this year sometime, I believe. We had 2 police officers on either side.
To be honest, I thought she was done, but maybe not. I don't know.
I asked her when I saw her at the start of winter, and she said, I said, Sherry, did you retire? She says, not yet, but it was either last year, and she said next year, meaning this year, or it was in January, and she said this year.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm pretty sure.
It's built on a Native American burial.
A young dentist and his wife just moved in next door where the policemen live. We got all kinds of new families that moved in, and you can see, because when we moved in, a lot of people were our age or slightly older, and we had 2 young kids when we moved in. We added a third. And our kids grew up here. And the neighborhood was filled with kids their age. And they all grew up, and then as those kids grew up and left homes, all the people started selling the homes or were empty nesters. So you had a period here where you didn't see a lot of kids. Our park was mostly empty. You didn't see a lot of kids around the park. And now all of a sudden you're seeing lots of kids, that 1 to 3 age range, 1 to 4 age range in this neighborhood. So obviously a lot of young families are moving in again. And so they're trying to find the old farts and give up the houses because they've got people willing to pay. Our house, if we sold our house, especially when I get that bathroom and our bedroom done, which is I guess you said it'll be in the summer now.
Yeah, we'll do it in summer.
We're not going to do it over spring break.
Well, we need to start buying stuff for it.
We need to decide once and for all, walk-in shower or tub,
I guess I'm
and then tile. That's it. And then bringing in a plumber to do the plumbing work I can't do.
Mhm.
That's it. Everything else is ready. We got the flooring. We got paint. We got to do some demo. We got to take some of that crappy wallpaper out.
Mhm. Yeah, we do it more.
Ugly wallpaper.
We also have to do the closet.
Pardon?
We have to do the closet.
The closet?
Yeah. We said not now. We didn't say not ever.
The closet. Oh, our bedroom.
Our walk-in closet. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's got the flooring. It just needs the...
Yeah. The paint.
No, we did paint it.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sure we didn't. We didn't take everything out.
Okay, you're
Compromise
sure? Yeah, we
walk-in
did.
tub. You go there, Lord.
Because I did it all. It's compromise walk-in tub. Oh, if we could get a jacuzzi up there,
Yeah.
that would be the compromise. That wouldn't even be a compromise. That would be a double yeah. Yeah, jacuzzi! But it's a converted attic, so
Right.
I would have to rip up the floor and double the width of all the floor joists all the way across to fit a jacuzzi up there.
Yeah.
I'd have to do major reconstruction to fit a jacuzzi. So we have just a basic thin steel enamel.
Andy says
covered
just
steel.
add beans.
Just add beans.
Oh.
We've gotten too old to sit in the tub together. We're too old and too big.
Yeah.
Ah, the good old days.
That's exactly.
We were younger and nimbler then.
Yes, we were.
But we've got the flooring, we've got the trim. We just, we already know the color. Paint's not going to be expensive because it's a small area. It's just if we're going to do a walk-in shower, and you would rather have the tub, but you are the one who says, let's just do a walk-in shower, and then I'm like, no, you like your tub. Then I have to put in the basin and the shower surround.
Ah, that's a big deal.
Oh, you're in the process of selling. Hey, well, hello, William. Good to see you. But yeah, we just there's only one room in this house I have not really rebuilt. I've remodeled, but not rebuilt the living room. I've redone the kitchen. We built the add-on dining room. We've remodeled and completely redone and refinished the
Main part of the bedroom.
main part of the bedroom. We still got to do, it's an ensuite, so we got to do the bathroom shower area. We've done both bedrooms, the kids' bedrooms.
Right.
But I've never, other than painting and changing furniture and window treatments, I've never redone the living room.
Yeah. I don't know what you do with it, I guess. Beyond what we've done.
Yeah, the only thing I'd want to do with the living room, because there's nothing you can physically do to it. I mean, I wouldn't mind putting a bay window on it just to give it that bigger sense.
Yeah.
But otherwise, with the living room, I would just get heavy-duty sandpaper and get rid of that. I forget what pattern that, and make it a smooth wall.
Wow.
I know, it would just be just as easy to rip out all the drywall and put in new drywall than to sand that all down to smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's arguments both ways on that, Clintonville, which is when you rent a house, you actually pay more for that house than if you bought it and were paying the bank for it, because the renter is the owner is renting it to cover the payments of that house and make a profit. and cover the insurance. So in other words, like in our neighborhood, you can rent a house for $2,000 a month, or you can buy the same house for $1,200 a month. But it's that upfront cash that's the big deal. That's the big deal. Plus, you have a little bit of the sanctity that when it's your house, you bought it, I can rebuild something, I can fix something, I don't have to call a maintenance manager or the owner and say, hey, could you come over here and fix this? I can go out, fix it myself, take care of it. Now, a lot of times when people rent houses, they will do basic fixes themselves. We rented a couple of apartments, and I did some repairs myself. One they were grateful for. The other one, she charged me extra when we ended our lease.
You ruined her beautiful black walnut tree.
I took down a bunch of weed trees. And I asked permission. I said, could I get rid of these weed trees? There's weed trees everywhere.
Well, we had a big storm that came through too that knocked down some of them. We just
Right,
finished
but
them.
it was just, they were just like really weeds that were out of control that had grown so tall, and but I chopped it all down, and I took out a bunch of small trees that were basically dying under this big walnut tree she had, and she got upset with that. I improved the curb appeal of her property drastically. I improved the curb appeal of her property drastically, and she withheld all our deposit because I cut down too many things in her yard. I changed it. I said, I asked you, could I take those out? And you said yes. Well, I didn't know you were going to do that much. And 4 units per building. Yeah, and like I said, there's pros and cons either way. I mean, I would never tell somebody, oh, you got to buy. But if you're a long-term renter, there are advantages to owning.
There's a big difference between America and Europe, so
Oh, he's American.
never mind.
And again, when you're in a unit, if you have, like even in the UK, Canada, I should say, where you have semi-detached houses, a lot of semi-detached houses where you share a wall with another house. Owning a house comes with chores like, discussing living in an apartment or a condominium versus a house.
Says hello.
All right, if you're first time on the channel, you need to plug your ears.
Yep.
Need to plug your ears.
What age will we stop this?
Cayenne! Opa loves you! Hi, Cayenne! Hi, Lindy!
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Cayenne! Up, 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 up! If you're in the background and wondering what that was about, Cayenne is my grandson. Lindy Loves is my eldest child, my elder daughter.
Hey, y'all. If you haven't hit the like button, would you please hit the like button? I don't know. You were on a good track earlier.
Come on,
Slow
Daisy.
down.
You got to give them a little more, Daisy. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
You weren't Daisy enough. You were a
Wasn't
little.
Daisy enough?
You were a little more like the Daisy. Oh help, help, mailing it in,
Help,
Daisy.
help, Daisy.
Oh help, 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 help. Ma'am, that ain't gonna work on me. It's not? Why not? God, I love that scene.
Oh, yeah, it is good. Throw some Reba in there. Junior Dodges.
Well, technically they're Stevens.
Yeah. That she married.
They definitely have Dodge blood, but they're also Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
No,
That's two.
see, I don't know how much you're familiar with my overall channel, Clintonville, but I do a cartoon. Actually, it's a voiced or vocalized comic strip called Matt Clark Railroad Marshal. It's set in the 1890s out in a fictional out west area. And it's an NSFW. It's not suitable for work, not suitable for school. And it's just got all kinds of lowbrow and highbrow and dirty humor. And I write it all.
Oh my.
And I do all the male voices. I do all the male characters and one female character. I do Donna. I'm just gonna Donald.
Yeah.
And then Joyce does all the other female characters. And one of the female characters is Daisy.
What am I getting a commercial for?
And all the characters are Daisy. Uh-oh. Well, he's already got a couple mad. The thing is, I can't think of his name now, that went nuts in the last race, where you got a DNF. He had a lot of road rage in that race. Yep, there's 3 types of videos on my channel. There's train videos, then we do parody songs.
Uh-huh.
We take famous rock and roll, pop rock and roll songs, and I rewrite lyrics to it to make it about the train hobby. And then we have the Matt Clark series, and it's a serial. It's a serial, which means to really understand it, you have to start with season 1. And season 1 is messed up on YouTube because we lost the copyright to the theme song in season 1. They made us change it. And so the editing and sound. And also it was my first season, and I learned tricks. So seasons 2 and season 3 are better visually. But it's still funny, and there's a lot of characters, and we've got a small cult, a very small cult.
Very small.
About 100 people that are rabid Matt Clark fans. But Daisy is, Joyce, how would you describe Daisy Cockett?
She's a well-rounded femme fatale.
No, I think Lil McGill is more a femme fatale. Lil McGill is more the femme fatale. Daisy is take no prisoners, all areas of the spectrum,
Right.
kitten.
Okay.
She's a seductress, a gunslinger par excellence. She's a very, very, very wild young lady of the West. She packs a pair of golden 38s, and she has a couple of nice guns too.
Yep. Right. And Fredo Bagino is a...
And then our friend Randall
Sounded
Ellison here, who works in the train industry, and check his channel out. He does American locomotive and rolling stock reviews and such, but he works in the train industry. He was the face of a character from season 3, Fredo Bagino, and now Fredo Bagino the fourth, the great-grandson, great-great-grandson. Well, Fredo, son, grandson, great-grandson. Great-grandson, Fredo Bagino, is in a, Randall also does a, he posts videos of him playing NASCAR. You'll have to type what the game is. And the character is Fredo Bagino, the fourth.
Which we enjoy.
Which we totally love.
Yes. But you've taken them into the modern era.
Well, you know, we had catchphrases. Like after season 1, a lot of our channels, people were doing, "Ah, shucks. That's all a bunch of horse poop." But yeah, so Joyce does Daisy and Lil McGill. Those are the two main female leads.
He makes me do a few other ones.
Oh, you do a lot of other ones. There's May Hurcha and Cherry Onatoff.
Not so easy.
Rosy Cheeks and you do all the girls.
I do all the girls
at the Ishi Crash Club.
And I do the owners.
Oh right, you do Trudy.
Trudy. Badly I do Trudy.
You do Trudy, the Prussian, and her Prussian accent is so bad.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
but
writes
it makes it its own charm.
he,
Oh, Abe, it is so wonderful.
he writes it phonetically for me.
I write everything out phonetically. But yeah,
That's bad.
we've had 3 seasons and 4 Christmas specials. Season 1 is 17 episodes. Season 2 is 23 episodes.
Descendants of the other characters are going to be in the series. That's great. The four-finger game.
And hopefully, well, definitely, season 4 will be out sometime in 2025. I am slowly plot working and scripting some scenes, but I'm not rushing myself. But I thought the last Christmas special actually came out pretty good.
I do too. Sorry.
But then the other thing we do is, like I said, we do the parody songs. What's that?
And then we do parody songs. Oh, I think it's a commercial.
You're getting commercials? They're not supposed to be putting commercials in the middle of my live stream. I've got that blocked.
No, that one. Oh, heck.
Well, you just screwed that up completely.
I have. Let's see how many likes you have, which is why I turned it on.
Well, Matt Clark is a railroad marshal, U.S. federal marshal, that his job is to work the train lines, but he has all kinds of... The stories are all insane because the writer is insane.
Right.
And unfortunately, although he is hired to protect the railway lines, every season, spoiler alert, tends to end with at least one train not being protected.
Right.
Matt, did we just... Yes, Diesel Dan, we just blew up another train. Or the Christmas special. The Christmas special. Mm-hmm. Matt, did you just... Yes, Diesel Dan, we just blew up another train. Who's we? I didn't shoot some magic all-powerful finger off some evil Santa. I like the idea of Diesel Dan one time saying, I wasn't involved.
Right. Yeah,
and of course, the other one was when they went to the toy store.
Diesel Dan's descendant is the engine builder, tuner, and Smokey's descendant is the crew chief.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That'd be cool. Smokey's descendant
is the crew
That's
chief.
Weird.
The crew chief? Oh, God, I can't see Smokey as the crew chief. Oh, shucks, you're running a little bit loose in those curves. You might want to tighten it up. You better get into this. Then his rant. See, Smokey would be better as driver. No, Smokey, you can't do a wheelie in the middle of this. No, Smokey, you can't spin 180 and take 3 cars out. It's all a bunch of horse poop.
I don't know, Randall. I still think the Four-Finger Gang would be funnier in a way, but you do you. It's
oh my
fine.
God, could I do that? That would be too lame.
What's that?
A son of Four-Finger Bill? Five-Finger Bill?
Do you just have 4 fingers like the rest of the family?
No, he'd have 6.
Oh, God.
Like the rest of the family. No, that's it. Everybody in the family had 6 except Tim as
right.
Five-Finger Bill.
Oh,
that was the big setup
that
joke.
was the original joke.
That was the joke in season 1.
That you got to carry into the next 3.
I'm Five-Finger Bill. Why do they call you Five-Finger Bill? Because I have 5 fingers on my shooting hand.
How many fingers do you have on your other hand?
How many fingers do you have on your other hand? 5. Why do you ask? And then you find out in season 2.
Four-Finger Gang is a pit crew, and Four-Finger Bill is the spotter.
Yeah, see, that would be it. That would be it. The Four-Finger Gang would be... Heck, they won't even invite me to family. Wait a minute, how many fingers? No, it was season 3 when we got the full story.
I thought they got a lot got it out of them in the first one. Yeah, she did.
But it was when he revealed. No, I thought it was when he was talking to the
gonna
Four
have to
Finger
try.
Gang. That they won't even talk to. Oh no, it's a follow up. They won't even talk. You know, they would make him sit aside because everybody in the family has 6 fingers.
Yeah, now that he's 4, he's really an outcast.
Man, what's the problem with you? Bunch of 6-finger mutants? What are you from? Mississippi? Bam! My family's from Alabama. Don't you ever accuse me of being from Mississippi.
Oh, there's 4 fingers too many. I don't know, Raymond. I don't think too many times I feel like, I'd be better off if I didn't have one of these.
Oh, for God's sakes, can't we just rob trains and kill people like we used to? Everybody's got to be a master criminal with a crazy plan.
Plan upon plans upon plans.
Plans within plans within plans. Can't we just rob trains and kill people like the good old days and be respectable criminals? Oh my, Mick. Oh my.
Oh, I got him.
God, I gotta stop doing Bill. I'm glad. In a lot of ways, it was awesome to kill off 4-Finger Bill. It was kind of unexpected,
Right.
and it was well done.
Right?
Oh God,
God.
a dame, and not even the gunslinger, but the singer. I always hated this series. God, this writer was stupid. I sing at your funeral.
I'll sing at your funeral.
Don't mind us. We're just having
yeah,
Matt Clark flashbacks. Y'all just talk amongst
Right.
yourselves. Do a Matt Clark episode live. Not now, Miss Cockett.
Oh, Matt.
No, not
No, that's not Matt.
Silas.
Oh, Silas.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Not now, Miss Cockett.
Oh, sugar.
The men from the SECS are here. The men from
I
the...
just can't say that without a little giggle.
Nice to see you again, Miss Cockett.
Gentlemen,
Could we offer you one of our sweaters that my brothers make at the monastery? It looks a little nippy outside. You look a little cold, Miss Cockett. Eyes above the neckline, gentlemen. Silas is the mayor of the town of Big Gulch that this occurs in. And in season 1, Daisy is a gunslinger who wants to kill the mayor because she believes the mayor killed her father because she was an adopted child from the local Native American tribe. But by the end of season, and her job was to seduce him to get him on a train that the villains were going to blow up. The problem is she seduced him, but he seduced her. So seasons 2 and 3 are all about their hanky-panky. Well, their story, parts of the story are all about their hanky-panky.
Yep.
But most of the names have some kind of joke or reference to them, and then the name of the businesses are funny. You have the furniture maker is Ike Keogh, the Irish guy who studied furniture making in Sweden. Ike Keogh. We have the Donner family restaurant.
They're very nervous, and they serve chicken fingers.
They serve finger sandwiches and yeah.
Yeah.
And then the town's #1 bordello is the Ishi Crash Club. Ishi Crash is an old local Apache term that means site of the burning bush. And it is a bordello.
Yes, it's a bordello.
Then you got the Filthy Glass Saloon, where we have Lil McGill is the singer, and Lil McGill is the main squeeze, the only squeeze, and now they're married. They married each other Christmas special of season 2.
Yeah.
Matt Clark and Lil McGill are married. Lil McGill gets her name from a Beatles song, the song Rocky Raccoon. Her name was McGill, and she called herself Lil, but everybody knew her as Nancy. So a great joke that people back then were into was season 1. everybody in the town keeps calling her Nancy.
Right.
And she would get on stage, it's Lil, damn it!
It's Lil, damn it!
Miss McGill, I just want to say, Nancy, you're awesome. It's Lil, damn it. Here she is, Nancy McGill. It's Lil, damn it.
Ah.
Yeah, the Men of Sex, the SECS, the Men of Sex. The Southwestern Ecumenical Council Service. The SECS, or the Men of Sex. Never has there been such a misnamed group. Although that one bit with Daisy, because you had the priest and the monk, and then you have the pastors, you know, the Catholic and the evangelicals, you know, and they're all together, and the Jewish guy. So they had the one scene where, you know, she's had enough of all their ogling. And she finally just yells at the guys, besides, I thought you were all celibate. And the Protestant guys point to the Catholics and go, nope, just them.
Yep.
And so all the Catholic guys are like, nope, just them.
Yep. It's 5:58.
It is 5:58. What are we doing for dinner?
I'd like a shake.
So you're thinking
My steak and shake.
we hitting the road?
Sure.
Okay.
Krabby will eat it.
See, I would like a steak and shake myself, where you cook me a steak and then provide the shake.
Right.
Not now, Ms. Coggin. Oh, yeah, kind of a small food today, but we started off heavy, but
Yeah, when I was peeked in, you had 40 people in here. You just now hit
Are you
40
saying
likes. They're not liking it.
oh,
When you come in.
did you chase people off? For goodness sakes.
Did I chase people off?
Well, if you said when you first came in there was 40 and now there's
No,
only 20.
no. When I came in at school.
Oh, we had 45 at one point, I think. But anyhow, yeah, we need to turn everybody off. And then the guys down below.
Off you go.
Who did I not turn off? Oh, him. Okay. There you go. Now you're off.
Your transport. With your new logo. No, that's not your
I
new
don't have a
logo.
new logo.
I was going to say, that's not right. I changed it.
The new logo was white. It was last week.
Your trousers fell down when you were walking to the fridge, and I fell on the bed, propelling a box of screws that was currently there towards the ceiling. Wow.
Yikes.
That sounds traumatic.
And I don't even want to ask why the pants fell down.
Yeah, right. I think you need suspenders, maybe.
Or don't walk around with the button and zipper undone. But that's another story. All right, anybody, everybody, somebody. Gonna go into a Monty Python skit after that. Once again, Friday has come to an end, but live streaming has not, because I will be doing 3 straight days of live streaming. Tomorrow, Artie's show, the Wacky Weekend, the Down Under show, will be up top. It will be on my channel, so if you are fans of Artie and me, and my God, why would you be? We will be on my channel tomorrow, and his channel next week. And then Sunday, about 9:15, 9:30 Eastern Time.
Time change.
Yeah, time change too here in the U.S. So
springing ahead.
It's 9:30 Eastern Time Zone USA. I will be live from the Toledo train show, the Toledo Model Train Show. I'll be streaming there. I've been lucky the last 3 years. The signal's been excellent, so we should be fine. There's not going to be a notification. It's just going to pop up. That's why I'm giving you a time frame, because the Streamlabs app on my phone does not allow you to set it up ahead of time. I know some people use StreamYard through their phone by going through the internet, but I find the Streamlabs app is much stabler using a phone. It just, unfortunately, you can't preset it. So on that news, on that bit of news. I might have a couple of videos coming out in the next week, so otherwise, just have to go watch the old ones and give them a thumbs up. Give them a thumb up.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up. So anyhow, we want to thank you all for joining us because we're always, I know we say it every weekend, but we're always amazed so many people come and hang out. We appreciate that. You guys, some of you every Friday for years, get a life. No. Anyhow, on that note, or those notes, we're going to say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains. Take care, everybody.